Hello everyone, hope you all are doing well. So today we are going to discuss the next copy of our Aspire for Agriculture test series. Aspire for Agriculture test series. So we all know that we are having Aspire for Agriculture test series where various tests are given by student and we are discussing the good copies of those students only. So today we will be discussing the test for section A, and in the next video we will be discussing the section B of test 4. We have already discussed till test 3. So we will see what were the questions asked and how the student has approached the answer. And by analyzing these types of copies, it can be very helpful to you in writing your own answers. You can know how to introduce, how to conclude, how to structure your body, how to add examples, and you can also learn from the mistakes which these students have made. So let's start. So the first question was define forest and how are forests important for travel livelihood. So you can start by defining forest as the student has done here. Forest is defined as a region with high density of trees that provides a habitat for many living things including plants, animals and microorganisms. So fair definition, but a better definition as per forestry is forest is area set aside area set aside for production production and management of timbers, other resources and other ecological benefits. So this is the scientific definition of forest as per forestry. When you read forestry or different books of forestry, you will find this definition of forest. So I hope you understand this. Now let's see how are these helpful in travel livelihood. Obviously they can be helpful in subsistence. They provide food, fuel, shelter, other things. Food such as mawa flower is eatable, tendu leaves are edible, and these tendu leaves are generally used in beadi making, which we know as local secrets. Fuel, obviously, the forest provides fuel wood. Shelter, such as bamboo timber, is used for making huts and other things. Economy and income provision, obviously, beadi making from tendu leaves, lac, resin from sal trees, all these things can be helpful. Here you can add crafts, also handicrafts can be made from these forest products, such as bamboo only. Culture, obviously, Karma festival in Odisha, Sarna festival in Jharkhand. So all these things are related to tribal culture, which are related to conservation of forests. Ecology, obviously, forests can be very helpful in ecological development, protection. They provide protection. Forest provide protection to these forest dwelling communities. Okay, medicine. These communities also develop medicine from forest resources such as bark of arjun, leaves of neem. So all these things can be very helpful. So they make some local medicines which are curable, which cure various diseases. So this was the first question, and again well concluded. Now let's move to the next question. The next question is write a note on agroforestry policy. So we all know that government launched the agroforestry policy in 2014. Here goals are mentioned such as increasing forest entry cover, improving agricultural productivity, reducing the risk of extreme weather events, and other goals have been also mentioned. So if you want to read this, you can simply pause the video and read it. Okay, I will be not discussing each and every line of the answer because it will make the video very bulky. So I will just discuss the important points, the important structure basically, and if you want to read the answers in detail, you can simply pause the video and read whenever you want to. Strategy have been mentioned, implementation have been mentioned, the fair answer. Now let's move to the next question. The next question is discuss some tree species with their benefits and which can be used in social forestry and agroforestry. Obviously, so in introduction you can define social forestry and agroforestry a bit, and then you can move tree species. And whenever you write this tree species, if you can write the biological names, if you remember, or scientific names, which what if you remember, so that enhances your answer. So that can be very helpful. For example, for eucalyptus, here you can write eucalyptus globulus. For teak, you can write here Ticona grandis. So all these things can be very helpful. The uses have been mentioned such as paper manufacturing. So you can read the uses. All the trees are similar uses only. Casuarina have been mentioned. For neem, you can write here Ajaricta indica. Ajaricta indica. For acacia, you can write for propis, dalverdia. For you write dalverdia, siso, moringa, bamboo. So all the trees have been mentioned. So the student has divided into two parts: trees used in social forestry, and then trees used in agroforestry. Again, similar trees only, Dalbardia, Arjuna. So these can be combined also because trees are similar only. Jamun, tamarind. So well written answer. Now let's move to the next question. The next question is discuss common agroforestry systems with suitable examples. So obviously we can define agroforestry in the introduction. We all know what agroforestry is. That is agriculture plus forestry. When you combine both agricultural crops and forest crops in a given patch of land, that is termed as agroforestry. Systems have been mentioned such as agri-silvicultural system, silvipastoral system, agri-silvipastoral system. So agri-silvicultural system, that is agricultural plus silvicultural trees. For example, LA cropping. These are the examples of agri-silvi systems. Silvipastoral system means silvicultural trees plus pasture crops. Okay. Again, agri-silvipastoral system means agricultural crops, silvicultural trees, and pastoral crops. Pastoral crops, that is used for animal feeding. Okay, animals. Other agroforestry systems have been also mentioned. So, aquaforestry system, that is forestry all around the pond or any aquaculture area. So, a little answer, you can simply pause and read it. Now, let's move to the next question. The next question is write a note on Tongya system. So, Tongya is a word originated in Burma and it means hill cultivation. Tongya means Tong means hill and Ya means cultivation. So, it is a kind of shifting cultivation only. Okay, it is practiced in various areas of India such as Kerala, northern parts of West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh, and obviously it is extensively practiced in Myanmar and other southeastern regions, southeastern state regions, or you can say nation regions, not state. Things have been mentioned, purpose have been mentioned. So you can simply pause and read if you want to. It restore degraded land, increase the income of peasant, tree survival increases. Tongya types have been mentioned as departmental Tongya, leased Tongya, village Tongya. So very well written answer. You can simply pause and read it. Now let's move to the next question. The next question is what is social forestry and discuss its types and benefits. So what is social forestry? It is defined as the practice that involves local communities in the management and protection of forests and meeting the aim of achieving environmental and social benefits out of it. So this is what social forestry is. Types have been mentioned such as farm forestry, community forestry, and those are defined. You can simply pause and read it if you want to. Urban forestry have been mentioned. So all these things are the types of social forestry, extension forestry, agroforestry. Now benefits of social forestry. So what are the benefits of social forestry? But one thing I must note it here, you can see in question, what is social forestry? Discusses types and benefits. So all the parts should be given equal importance. You can see social forestry will be well defined, but types have been given too much emphasis. That can be a little bit of brief. It is too much. Okay, for a type. And you can say benefits have been very less amount of space is given to benefits. So all the parts would be given good approach as per their requirement, because there are various benefits which can be added here, such as some are mentioned, such as improve the environment, protect the agriculture field, create recreational activities. So will written answer, but that could be here, these things can be shortened up and a little bit of benefits can be increased to make your answer look balanced, more balanced. What is natural forest? Discuss various methods of propagation of forest trees. So natural forest, we all know that these are primary forest where they are not subject to human impact in recent past, or where the human activities or anything leading through human activities are not that present. So those are the natural forest. Example, forest in Western Ghats, Amazon forest. So here you will see very less human influence. Importance have been mentioned. And again, you can see the importance, I don't think has been asked in the question. What is natural forest? Discuss various methods. So if you add importance, try to be very brief with it. Okay. All this student is brief only, but if you can skip it also if you want to. But if you want to write, try to be very brief as the student is here. It absorbs carbon dioxide, purifying the air. So written points. Now methods have been mentioned such as obviously seed propagation can be a method there, such as direct seeding, broadcast seeding, spot seeding, drilling, seedling transplantation, nursery raising, all these things can be done here for vegetative propagation. It could be through cutting, it could be through grafting, it could be through layering, it could be through budding. clonal propagation. So all are these are the methods of propagation. You can simply pause and read it. Similar methods of propagation are used for all the trees and things. Those are only just written here. So well written answer. Now let's move to the next question. The next question is differentiate between agroforestry and agroastrology. The agroforestry on agroastrology is about grasses. This is the basic difference. Now see how the student has mentioned. First, the student has written about agroforestry. We all know what agroforestry is: sustainable management, trees plus agricultural crops. All these things have been mentioned. We all know it. We should focus more on agroastrology. It is a theory related topic which is generally related to grass species, helps in developing a new disease and other things. It generally think about everything about grasses. In agroforestry, what is everything about trees and forest and agricultural crops? Here it is about grasses. So a written point. Now let's move to the next question. The next question is why we need to conserve forest flora and fauna and how can we conserve them. So why we need, especially in introduction you can write about various plant species, various, you can highlight how much species, how is the density of species of forests. So that can be written in introduction, which this is mentioned here. You can simply pause and read it here. Various plant species, macro and macroorganisms in macro and macro environment are built here. Need to conserve them. Obviously, they provide oxygen. They are helpful in carbon cycle, biodiversity, ecosystem services. So, little points, and you can see here examples have been also mentioned. So, good one. Employment helps in preventing natural disasters, helps in tourism. So, little points, and how we can protect them through afforestation and reforestation by reducing degradation of forest flora and fauna. So, you can simply pause and read these points in detail if you want to. Punishment, stringent punishment to offenders, awareness programs can be run, provision of uh, incentive and alternate measures of life and income. So well written points, and you can say very well written conclusion where various acts have been discussed. That is good. Now let's move to the next question. The next question is discuss the needs and various techniques of forage conservation. Also differentiate between forage and forage. So we all know what forage is. Forage is the edible part of the plants other than used for food grazing animal. Okay, so these are the edible parts which can be used later for the animal feed. Conservation of forage. Why? Because these can avoid nutrient loss, implement source for animal feed. So this is the basic point you should know. Bulletin points: improve soil health. Now various techniques have been also mentioned, such as hay making, silage making, haylage, forage reserves. Differences have been mentioned, such as first of all, the student has written about fodder. It is brought to the animals for feed, cut and brought to the animals. It is not stored generally. Okay, it contains leaves, stems, processed part, mostly used in a small farmyard. So these are about fodder. You can simply pause and read it. Now, what is about forage? Forage. These are grazed by the livestock while still attached to the soil. Okay, so this is the difference. The fodder is brought, cut and brought for the plants, but forage is grazed by the plants whenever they are on the field only. But that can be stored also. You can do hay making and silage making for storing these forage. So written points, you can simply pause and read it. And again, very good conclusion where the Indian Grassland and Fodder Research Institute of Jhansi, Uttar Pradesh have been mentioned. Now let's move to the next question. The next question is discuss the weakness of social forestry programs. Also suggest measures to overcome this. So what are the, we can define social forestry in introduction. Now we'll see what are the drawbacks of or weakness of social forestry program. Obviously, small land holdings of India. Here examples can be added. So for example, here we can add that more than 80% of farmers in India are small and marginal. So like this you can add examples and facts. Lack of assistance, high cost of exotic tree species, lack of private sector investment, community perceptions, all these things are the problems. What measures can be done? We can develop community managed forests, provisions for financial assistance, awareness among the communities, involvement of private sectors, all these things can be done. Collaboration, streamline procurement, increase participation through the help of NGOs, cooperative societies, all these things. So very well written points and well concluded. So this was the section A of test 4, and I think you have read the answers whenever needed by pausing the video, and I think we have discussed the structure of all the answers nicely. So that is all for today. If you like it, please press the like button, please do share, and please do subscribe. It takes a lot of hard work to make such videos for you on regular basis. If you like it, so please do like, please do share, and please do subscribe, because that motivates us to make more such videos for you regularly. So that is all for today. Have a nice day. Thank you.